LCT XL Operator Guide. Contents. Basics. Introduction. The Plockmatic LCT XL is a newly engineered option for Canon production printers. The LCT XL attaches inline, and is compatible with multiple Canon printers and downstream modules. The LCT XL contains 2 paper trays, and an optional long sheet module, which allows for custom sequencing of sheets from 3 different sources. This machine can reliably feed media all the way up to 400 GSM. The LCT XL utilizes the latest Plockmatic vacuum feed technology for efficient paper feeding, and is equipped with a state-of-the-art touchscreen UI. Turning on the LCT XL. Turn on the machine. If running tandem kit setup, turn on both LCT XLs. If not, turn on single LCT XL. Turn on the following switch if running optional humidity kit. Also make sure that both terminator plugs are plugged in. Paper stack preparation. To avoid double feeds or misfeeds, it is important that you fan the paper stack prior to loading it into the LCT XL. Sheets that are damaged or are dog-eared should be removed. Loading paper. From the main menu, select which tray you intend to open and load. Tray 2 is the upper tray. If paper stack is wider than 260 mm or 10.24 inches, install the wide paper supports as shown. Lift the paper guide lock release levers and adjust them according to the size of the paper. This sliding tab controls the size of the vacuum suction area at the bottom of the vacuum chamber. This needs to be manually shifted to the correct position, depending on the paper width. If the paper width is less than 188 mm, or 7.4 inches, lever needs to be shifted to a corresponding position. If paper width is greater than 188 mm, or 7.4 inches, the lever needs to be positioned as shown. When loading to LSM tray, place the stack so that the leading edge of the sheets is placed below the feed rollers. Push the paper guides in, so that they touch the stack of paper. Push the MP button to move the tray table up. If tray table is left to its down position, the printer will not cycle up, and the job will not start. If the paper sheets require a long tray base, pull the LSM extension out. On the paper guides, there is a mark that indicates the 65 mm paper loading limit. The paper stack height should not exceed these indications. Same mark is also located inside the trays. Setting up a job. The jobs will be programmed using the user interface of the downstream device. The only settings to be carried out from the LCT XL are paper color and heating. To set LCT XL to feed black media, select the desired tray. Press on the following area to enter advanced settings. Toggle the black media switch to on position and press confirm. Paper stack icon is now black, to indicate that the setting is turned on. Note that this means actual black paper, and not white paper with 100% dark toner coverage. To access the heating settings, head to the Advanced Settings screen once more. When turned on, This feature will increase the performance when humidity is high. When set to Auto, the LCT XL will use a humidity sensor to optimize the heating level. Fan adjustments. Plockmatic always recommends to use all auto or default settings. Auto mode for fans sets all the process parameters except for the paper color and the paper curl amount. If manual adjustment is needed, use the adjustment buttons to decrease or increase separation and front and rear floating air by 1 step per push. Compensating for curled media. Paper curl can be a challenge for any feeding system. The LCT XL operates best if the sheets have minimal amount of curl. Efforts should be made to minimize the amount of curl. However, if your media has curl, and you are running the LCT XL in auto mode, it is important that the LCT XL gets information regarding curl, so that the feed cycle can compensate for the curl amount. Here is how you determine the curl amount of your paper stack. When measuring curl, use a small stack of paper, and always measure the positive curl, meaning that the leading edge of the stack should be pointing up, as shown. If the paper needs to be loaded in the trays with the edge pointing down, then simply insert the measured value as a negative curl amount on the UI. First, take a sample of the stack, and place it on a flat surface. Then take the midpoint as reference, and do all the following measurements within the marked area of the picture. Measure the lowest point of the stack of paper. Now, measure the height of the leading edge of the stack of paper. The difference between the leading edge and the lowest point is the amount of paper curl. Load the paper stack. Choose the corresponding tray, and press on the following part of the screen to enter paper curl menu. Enter the necessary curl amount, and press confirm. Saving a custom job. To save a custom job, first set up the desired settings. Then head to Library, select the corresponding tray and press Save As. Enter the name of the custom job and press OK. If any settings have been changed, it is now possible to return back to the saved job by loading it from the library menu. Select the saved job, choose the desired tray, and press Load. Saved job is now loaded on tray 3. To overwrite new settings on top of previously made job, select the desired job and press Save. To delete a job, select the job you want to delete, and press Delete. Test settings. Select Tools. Test settings. This menu is used to check the manual settings in the vacuum trays. First, select the corresponding tray. Then select size and paper weight of currently loaded stack. Press Test Settings to activate all fans, and move the elevator to process position. If the LCT XL is set up correctly, the sheets will be floating horizontally, with equal amount of separation between the sheets. In this example, fan settings are set too high. In this example, fan settings are set too low. Misfeeds. To clear a misfeed or jam from paper transport area, first open the front door of the LCT XL. Turn the jam clearance knobs to move the jammed sheets within the paper path. Pull the baffle handles to open up baffles, and remove damaged sheets. If the jam is in the LSM module, first press the MP button on the screen to lower the tray. Open the LSM top cover, and remove the feed roller if better access is needed. Place the misfed sheet on top of the stack, or remove it if it is damaged. Reinstall the feed roller, and close the top cover. If there is a misfeed in the bypass module, press the bypass module release button. Pull out the bypass module. Lift the jam clearance baffle, and clear area of any debris or obstructions. Misfeeds can also occur in one of the trays. Open the corresponding tray. Clear the misfeed and remove the damaged sheets, if any. Troubleshooting. When the message "Miss" is displayed, the LCT XL was not able to feed a sheet from the indicated tray. Please refer to the miss error procedure in Section 6 of the Operator Manual. We will walk you through this particular procedure as an example. Does paper have cross-process direction curl? If not, decrease process position by 2, and check if the sheets are floating correctly. Press the Test Settings button, and see if sheets are floating correctly. If not, increase vacuum pickup time by 30 milliseconds, and run a job to test if the sheets are fed correctly. If sheets are feeding correctly, exit the menu. If not, continue with the next step on the list. After each change, remember to use the Test Settings button to check your new manual settings. Press the button again to turn off test mode. When the error message is jam, too long or too thick, this indicates the LCT XL has detected either a jam or a double sheet feed from one of the trays. Follow the procedure shown in your operator manual to correct this error.